Interesting history Shipwreck Island has. I'd studied up on it before I came down.
What are the names of those two people I'm accused of killing?
John and Lucy Combs. I made a note of it.
Must have been a couple of kids I ran over near Cambridge.
Wham! For them or for you?
Well, I was thinking for me, but of course you're right, sir. It was damned bad luck on them. Of course it was a pure accident. They rushed out of some cottage or other. Beastly nuisance. English roads are hopeless, of course. Can't get up a decent pace on them. Well, anyway, it wasn't my fault.
Oh. Oh. Just didn't give a fuck that he killed 2 kids. Yeah, it was an accident, but still.
Please die. You have fat hand.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And
Oh!
he dies first.
I mean, for all the
man
cinematics
is
being
dead.
accurate, that was a good
Yeah. And he choked himself.
him followed. That was a good cinematic.
Did Marston choke to death? You can call it choking if you like. He died of asphyxiation right enough.
Sounds a lot
Was
of
Marston
choking.
poisoned? Can't say exactly. Everything points to one of the cyanides. No distinctive smell of prussic acid. Probably potassium cyanide. It acts pretty well instantaneously. Was there something in the
Cyanide.
whiskey? Yes, without a doubt.
Do you think it was suicide?
Seems like it.
Could he have been murdered?
Not my line of country. I'm a doctor.
I'm a
not
doctor,
detective.
not a detective. Nice, with the Star Trek reference.
Yeah, right?
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
Not I. Personally or professionally.
What do you think that record means?
A disgraceful and heartless practical joke, I suppose.
Good evening, Doctor.
But someone is dead.
Right?
Do you think it was suicide?
You conduct yourself well, Mr. Narracott, if you don't mind my saying so. Mr. Blore has told us that you are not what you appear, yet you told him you were not a detective.
No, sir. But I've read many detective novels. I even had one of those junior detective kits when I was a boy. Magnifying glass, fingerprint powder.
Well, that gives you
Junior detective kit. Wonderful.
Ah, an amateur sleuth then. You
Jeez.
appear to have something of a gift for it.
About the suicide, Judge.
I'm not yet prepared to offer an opinion.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
I knew his father, the Duke, and his elder brother. Like so many younger sons of his class, Anthony Marsden was a bit of a wastrel, as you will have gathered. There were other rumors of late, of his dabbling in politics, but this is not the proper forum for that discussion.
What do you think that record means?
May I answer that in a moment after asking a question of my own?
No.
Of course.
Does anyone know Mr. Owen's full name?
My letter was signed only U.N. Owen.
Yes, U.N. Owen. Or, by a slight stretch of fancy, unknown. I'll now answer your
Dramatic
question,
him.
Mr. Narracott. The name, the recording, the circumstances under which all but you were lured to this island. I have no doubt in my mind that we have been invited here by a madman. Very possibly
Or
a
Groundhog,
dangerous,
I guess.
homicidal lunatic.
Why did you retire, Judge?
I know there was talk about my competence, even my ego running wild, but the truth of it is very simple. My health. A lifetime sentencing my fellow man, and now a higher power has passed judgment on me.
Thank you kindly, Judge.
Go with...
Do you think Marston committed suicide?
Yes. In my experience, certain types of individuals, when faced with their sin, will then commit the greater one.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
No.
What do you think that record means?
There is something very peculiar about it.
I won't
Really?
take up any more of your time, Miss Brent. Do you think Marston committed suicide?
I shouldn't have said Mr. Marston was a suicidal type of gentleman at all.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
Never clapped eyes on him. And who gave you the authority to question us?
Never
You're under
clapped
no
eyes on
obligation
him.
to answer me. What do you think that record means?
I don't like it. Not one bit. Very queer, the whole situation.
That'll do, Mr. Bloor.
A word that has definitely changed over the years.
What?
Queer.
Rude.
Oh.
Do you think Marston committed suicide?
You'd never think he would kill himself. He was so alive. When he came down that hill in his car, he looked... Oh, I can't explain.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
No, I'm sure I would have remembered.
Steady, Miss Claythorne. Lad had his faults, you know.
What do you think that record means?
It was unfair, what it said. Very unfair.
You seem to be a remarkably perceptive girl, Miss Clayton.
Why, thank you, Mr. Narracott.
Of course.
Is there anything you can
laying
tell
on the
me about
flirting.
our fellow castaways?
Castaways? You make it sound so...
Romantic.
I was going to say dramatic.
Jesus.
Let me see. No one has confided any secrets to me, I'm afraid. Oh, except one.
That is,
I really don't know you well enough to answer you.
much obliged for your assistance, Miss Claythorne. Do you think Marston committed suicide?
He didn't seem particularly remorseful. Of course, the record might have set him off somehow. A new incident long after the fact may create a strong feeling of guilt or fear. Wouldn't you say,
I
Doctor?
can see
Possible. Quite possible.
him in Dragon Age.
Did you
That's
know
all you're
Marston
hearing
before
now.
he arrived here today?
Heard of him, but we'd never crossed paths or swords.
What do you think that record means?
There is something wrong with this entire weekend, and especially with our host, Mr. Owen.
I believe we're all coming
Bits
around
just
to
because,
that
especially with
conclusion.
this character.
Yes, but I know something you don't, Judge.
What is that?
Let's talk while not
I
staring at each other.
recognized the voice
Yeah,
on that
right.
recording, and it was definitely not Mr. Owen.
Who was it?
Not so fast, Narracott. Not until I think things through a bit more.
Thank you, Lombard. Do you think it was suicide?
How dare you? My wife died of natural causes, sir. A long
Oh.
illness. Nothing more.
I meant Marston.
Marston? No honor in him that I could see.
Well, can't disagree there.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
No, I don't think so. Not a military man, I'd wager. Lombard now. He reminds me of someone from my command. But the name wasn't Lombard.
What do you think that record means?
Ugly. After 30 years. Ugly thing to say.
Thank you, General.
Some sort of foreshadowing.
Where have you been, Rogers?
On what?
Hold on.
I went to check on my wife, sir. She is resting comfortably. But I'm afraid I have some distressing news.
Oh?
One of the china figures of her Sailorboy has been broken off.